What's up? My name's Tatjana, and it's my mission here on YouTube to help you get a grip on Dynamics 365 customer engagement and the Power Platform. Today, we're going to look at how to make your own bot. Have fun. The first thing you have to do, and I already did that in preparation, is to create a bot. How do you create a bot? You just click on the Bots panel. And there you can select New Bot, give your bot a name, and you have under More Options the possibility to attach your bot to an environment, which I'd recommend doing. So I'll take my CRM7 for whatever environment, and then I hit Create and create a bot for that environment for its designed purpose. The first thing we're doing now is we're looking at topics. Topics are everything a user on your website might ask the bot, and you want to have it answered. Microsoft comes with some example topics which are great for learning how to build that bot. Let's just look into one of them because I think that's such a great learning tool to just look at the bots that already exist. You see, we have trigger phrases. We'll come to that later. Then the bot will ask a question. You have to answer. That answer is stored in a variable. And then, depending on the answer, other things happen. And so it goes on up until end of conversation. Okay, you might click around, just see what it looks like, what it is by yourself. We will create an own topic right now. And now we want to create our own topic for our chatbot. We click on New Topic and we add a name, a title, and if you'd like to, you may add also a description. I'm just adding a title for now, but it's generally a good practice to add a description too. Now we have to enter trigger phrases. Trigger phrases are exactly the phrases on which the bot triggers. Okay, this is this topic. I know it because I have the trigger phrase. So you should really think about how your website visitors might ask for the topic. Let's say I need support. And I take another one. Please help me. Okay, that should suffice. Now, please author your bot often as soon as it's live. So you see how he might not always catches phrases that the customers really ask. Now we have inserted our own topic and we might now go to the authoring canvas. Authoring canvas, what shall happen if the topic is requested? Now we're deciding on what happens after a trigger phrase is detected. First, we send a message. I'm here to help. Okay, what should happen next? Do we want to ask a question, call an action, simply show a message like we already did with hello, I'm here to help? We want to switch topics? No, we don't. And we don't want to end the conversation. We want to ask a question now. How could your problem be described? Okay, questions. We have multiple ways to insert answers. So we have the possibility to ask a multiple choice question or an age or a city or something else. Boolean values are also okay. You see there is a lot of variable types here. And we can also track the user's anti-response, which we will do later. For now, we're staying with the multiple choice options. First option, product, complaint, and next option, service complaint. Okay, you see here the response is saved as a variable in the text format. What I recommend doing is edit the variable and give it a name that you will recall because you will need it later. Calling it type of problem, done, and we're moving on to our conditions. So if the user chooses product complaint, then we're going this way. If the user chooses service complaint, then we're going this way. So we're staying with the service complaint path for now. And now we're doing our first interaction with our database. So we're adding a new step with the service complaint path. And we again ask a question. Question, what's your company name? We're choosing not a multiple choice answer as this would make no sense, but we're going to capture the user's and her response. Just a tip here, be careful with that option because users are so creative when typing in data. Now, okay, we get another variable here and we rename it to company name. We'll need that later, so this is a very important step to always name your variables. And now we're going to ask within our database if that company exists and give back some values. So we're calling an action and we're creating a new flow. First thing I'm always doing is rename the flow because otherwise it's so easy to forget at the end. So get, no, it's not typing. Yet now. Get company data. We're adding an input because we want the bot to give the user response into the flow. So we're having to choose, is it a text answer? Is it a yes or no or a number? We're taking text because we're capturing the user's entire response, and so it's always a string. We're saying company name. We're beginning with adding an action, and we always take these common data service actions because in principle the common data service is the database under the CRM, just to take it easy. So we have different kinds of action we could take. So we're beginning to list records. Whenever I do a query to a database, I take the list records action. So we're selecting our environment, our CRM, and then we're selecting the entity. As we're querying for the account name, we're selecting the entity accounts. Then we have to add a filter. Filters are made by OData queries, so I need to know the field name, and EQ is equals, but you may Google more commands here. Then we need some high comma, company name, and again a high comma. I have no idea if it's really high comma, because yeah, I'm not a native speaker, but I think you see what I've done. Let me just zoom that in a little bit. Yeah, here. Just if no one knows the expression high comma. Okay, let's start doing something. So list records always gives back a data set, a set of records. Even if it's just one, we have to add a loop. And the loop in Power Automate or within a flow is apply to each. So we're going to apply to each, selecting the values from our listing action, and then we need to have a variable to store the output in there. So we're going one step back and add another action. And if I type in there variable, I get all the things that have to do with variables. And first we have to initialize it. It's a city. Let's say we are giving back the city, and the type is string because city is a text field. We do not need to set an value. And now we have to set the variable for each value in that list, even if it's only one. Therefore, we take the set variable action right here down below. And then we're choosing our variable, the city variable, and give it a value. And now you see right down there all the fields from the account entity. And I can simply search within that list, take address 1 city. Now we have to get back the output to our Power Virtual Agents. Therefore, we add an output. It's a text output, city, and we're giving back the variable that we just filled. So as you can see, if we click on add an output, we have no possibility to give back an array. So we are bound to string, yes or no, Boolean values and numbers. You can't give back an array, so you should make sure that the list records only gives back one item. You can't even put the return to Power Virtual Agents action into the apply to each because it can only happen once. It's the end of that function, you can say. Okay, let's save that. Now we get back to our Power Virtual Agent, and you see I've tested shortly before, and now I'm really adding that action, and I find it here within that panel, get company data. So, and now we see I need an input, company name. I select company name, my variable within the Power Virtual Agent, and I see, okay, I get a value back, which is city, and now we can simply output it and say, ask a question. So you from company name in city, and I can say, okay, here we've got some Boolean yes or no. And we name that variable. We won't need that variable in the future because we're only designing the yes part, but as it's best practice, I always name the variables. City confirmed, done. Okay, that's it. So we're giving condition here, and the condition is on city confirmed is equal to true, and then we can design our part. We are asking a question again, and the question is, could you describe your problem in 2 to 3 sentences? And we're also taking the user's entire response right here, naming the variable, so that I can still find it. And yeah, I think that's enough for now. And then we can make a new flow. Create a flow. Now we need the input company name, we need the input description. This is very important so that we can attach the case to the company. So we will reuse a lot of things that we've already done in the other flow. Then text, company name, and text, problem description. Okay, we're going to list our records again. Oops. We're first going to initialize the variable. The first one is case number, which we want to give back to our user. And I make it simple. I say it's a string. And now we're ready to go. Apply to each. And now we're not going to write record data into the variable. Now we're going to create a new record. Selecting an environment again, and selecting the entity case. Just to make it simple, I can just write in here to filter the list. So cases, case title, problem by bot, and description should be our user description, problem description. And then we need to set the customer, and this is unique identifier of the account. And I also have to set the customer type, never forget. Now we're going to fill the variable. We're looking for the setter, and we're taking case number. And now, which is so easy, you see here, we have a new section, create a new record. All data from create a new record is stored within that. So we're looking for case number, and then we're giving back our variable. That's it. Now we have to again call the action after the question, and I forgot to rename my flow, and see it right here. We will fix that because it's just best practice, and I always forget it if I don't do it at the beginning. So get that habit. Save, and now we're doing that again. Call an action, create case PVA. And we need to say, okay, what's my input? Input is company name, problem description, and the output comes automatically. We're showing a message. Your case number variable, case number, has been created. Thank you. And we're saying end of conversation, can end with a survey or just leave it as it is. That's up to you. Now save. Now we've got to test our bot. First test. Okay, not for me, but for you. And we can, on the bottom left, we have test your bot. Now it's time to test our bot. Let's chat. I need support. On the right side, and I think that's pretty cool, we can see what the bot is doing. So we see we're now at the point question, as we've only modeled out the service complaint. I'm choosing service complaint. And then what's your company name? B. Turner. So now the flow is running. And so you're from B. Turner in Ubelingen, our first database query. And I have to confirm yes. Now I'm describing my problem. And bam, bam, bam. Okay, not exactly bam, bam, but here's my case number. I can just copy that out. And let's see how that worked out within the system. As I'm on a marketing instance, I have no navigation item case, so I have to do it manually via advanced find, but that's no problem. Just cases, results, and there we are. So what time is it now? It's the last one, I think. Yes. We're opening. There we are. We have the problem by bot title. We have the case number. The customer is filled out, so it is attached to the right company. And we have the description within there. That's pretty cool, don't you think? Now, last but not least, what to do when the bot's finished. We can publish it. Let's just do that. And then you get a demo website. This demo website you should be using internally. Before you publish your bot on your website, let your users, let your sales team or whoever, your support team, check out the bot within the demo website. We will just do that, and here's our support bot, which we can use right now. Okay. Another cool thing that will fill out with time is the analytics part. So you can see the engagement, how many times, which topic was used. I think that's it for now. Have fun with your own bots. Just try it out. Trials.dynamics.com and powerva.microsoft.com. I'll put the links down in the description, and then you might get started within a few minutes. Have fun and see you next week.